It is exactly 9:54, our final interview of the morning, and we have an amazing lady on the show. She is Professor Dr. Mehreen M.I.A, founder facilitator of the M.I.A program. Let's hear what it's all about. And of course, Women's Month is just around the corner, so the right person to be on the show to talk to us about these issues. Professor Dr. Mehreen M.I.A, assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah so much, Shukran. It's lovely to be here and to be with you, my sister Julie.
Lovely to have you on the show. You are the founding facilitator of the M.I.A program. It could actually be your surname, Mia. What is the M.I.A program?
Sure. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. M.I.A program, yes, it is M.I.A, and it is a legacy in the name of my father, which I will, inshallah, be trying to keep through until my demise. M stands for motivate, I stands for inspire, and A for advance. So the program actually is developed over quite a few years now. I've written the program so that we can actually motivate, inspire, and advance everybody, no matter what your age group, no matter what your race or ethnicity, etc., etc. Because from life's lessons, virtually myself, I've had to motivate myself. I've had to inspire myself and advance myself to grow through my own adversities, etc., etc. And I've just found that if I could do it, that means every single one of us, alhamdulillah, has that capacity within us. So the M.I.A program is basically developed to especially go into the mindset of our children throughout the schools, because why does a child have to become an adult? To go through difficulties in life, to learn how to life coach, to learn how to be empowered, etc. Learn these skills from earlier on so that whatever life throws at you, you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there for you, and these are your skills that you have within you to get you through it. So that's what the M.I.A program is about, inshallah.
And how does a person subscribe to these programs, or do they naturally, are they naturally taught at school level?
I'm trying to filter them into a school level at the moment. However, it's going to be very difficult because we do have the educational system, which is not functioning 200% correctly right now, because we are not, sorry, just excuse the background noise.
I was wondering what's going on there.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So, no, so we're trying to filter it through that way, but currently it's running online. And I'm doing it mostly abroad. So it's running in the UK, it's running in India, and it's running in USA. So as we get webinars and online events, we're actually doing it through there. But for now in South Africa, we're trying to filter it through into different schooling systems. There's also the train the teacher, empowerment of teachers, etc., because teachers themselves also need help to cope nowadays. So right now that is the phase, but to be able to get more, I will definitely give out an email address to the studio, and if anybody would like to be in touch regarding the program, I'd more than welcome to do that.
So do you have specific age groups that you target, or just one set, one age group that perhaps your young adults, 18 to 35, for example? How would you break it down then if you have different age groups?
Well, for example, the psyche of a child. If you have 3 children in front of you and they're different age groups, their mindset develops and grows in different ways. How they understand you is obviously in different capacities too. That compared then to a teenager is also very different. And then compared to a young adult versus an elderly somebody. So when we're attacking mindset, you cannot actually restrict it to just one age group. It needs to be dealt with per persona. So for example, I would do a specific portion of this program developed for an age group. For example, if you go into junior primary, we'll do the grade RR into the grade 2. And then we start with the grade 3 into the grade 5. That's another group. Then you start with the grade 6 and 7 separately. Then you'll start with grade 8s and 9s, because 9s develop career thoughts, etc. And then you got the 10s and 11s, and then you got the 12s, which are separate because they're going into the world. Then, of course, you've got the adult-based program, which is, of course, just the empowerment fields and the life coaching, etc., that goes there. And there's motivation for elders, because they still have capacity. They still have so much of wisdom within them. So we cannot ignore. So no, it's not restricted to any age group. It's actually broad, and whomever and whatever we can do to build our ummah, that is what this program, inshallah, will be aimed to do.
So clearly, you steeped in the field of education, educating, motivating, upskilling, etc., etc., etc. We're also told, as you might well agree with me, is that the foundation years are absolutely crucial. If you don't get it right with your kids at that point, you're going to end up with a troubled teen and possibly a lost adult. Is there hope for people like them?
Yes, yes. And I will say that outwardly, yes, purely because as much as we have those adversities now, you would have, for example, a child who is in preschool, grade RR, or even grade triple R, for example. And you have both those parents who are working. One of them might be working a double job, but the point is, this child is going into a creche area. They're trying to get education. Then there's discipline and after school care. That child goes home. There's not much time for that parent to actually speak to these children to say, how was your day? Who's your best friend? What did your teacher do that you liked, that you didn't like, etc. Until they have the parent meeting at the school. Um, but there's hope because when we have to use programs like this and when we come externally to make sure that there is hope, and that's what we're trying to offer. We try to offer you that there is hope for you because we need to grow your child from that point on to mentally skill them as to how to deal, how to cope, what strategies are there. That at that young age, I'll give you a perfect example of a device. How many times have you seen a little child teach their grandparent how to sort out a device or how to download an app? So
Right,
that
right.
tells us that the mindset of the children nowadays, do not underestimate them. So therefore, what we would normally previously have thought we need to actually only teach to an adult, do not underestimate that we can teach these skills to our children, of course, based on their age groups and their mindset. So there's definitely hope. There's hope for the parent, there's hope for the child, and there's definitely hope for the educator as well, inshallah.
Okay, there's just so much more I can talk to you about, and I'd love to talk to you about, but we have run out of time.
Yes.
Inshallah, sometime soon we will organize a much longer interview. For now, who should be applying for, to enroll on one of your courses? What are they going to get out of it, and how do they
Well,
go about it?
I do not do male consultations, unfortunately, and that's not a bias. It's just a prerogative. As a single mom and as somebody who's me, I just don't. But I do family group therapies, for example, and coaching sessions for families. If you do have a son who needs help, as long as there is someone around, depending on his age, but anyone who needs help. And my passion is especially for our women and our children. That is my absolute passion, is to grow our women within themselves, grow our children in their minds and within themselves too. So if you need to, every one of us has that capability. We all having difficulties, we all have adversities, but we need to learn the skills that we already have innate within us. Because you go back a few seconds or a few years in your life and you sit and you think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got through that. There was a point in your life where you sat and you thought, I will never get through this. I'm never going to be able to make it through this. But guess what? You did. Which means there is an innate quality within you that can empower you to get through anything. All you need to do is upskill it, learn about it, and be aware of certain things about yourself. And that awareness about you is what will grow you to develop your mindset so that you can get through life's journey. And that's what it's about. So anyone who's going through this, especially our women, our single moms, etc., who need that little bit of upliftment, who need that I can do this vibe or energy to come from an outside source. And sadly, that's what happens. We need that before we can actually feel it for ourselves. That's where this is going, inshallah.
How do people get hold of you?
You're welcome to email. It is Mehreen at live.co.za. So it's MEHREEN at live.co.za.
Simple as that. Lovely talking with you. Sorry that we've got to wrap up now, but
Fine.
definitely a next time, inshallah. Go well. Keep us in your
Ameen.
du'as.
You as well. Please remember us in your du'as and please be
Ameen.
warm, inshallah. Allah be with everyone.
Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Ameen.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. 4 after 10 o'clock, and that means it's wrap up time for me. Thank you indeed for keeping us company, and till tomorrow morning at the same time. As always, keep safe, take it easy on the roads, and a big shout out to Nasri Naidu, the producer, and of course, Abdul Salam behind the controls. Assalamu alaikum and Khudafiz. From me, Julie Ali.